Alright, I clicked on the wrong button, so I had to separate it into two videos for some, dumb reason. My fault. Anyway, so we are ready to ask ourselves again, so what would you multiply x squared by to get that right there? And obviously that would be negative 4x. And then you could go down the column and multiplying negative 8x squared. And lastly, 4x. Right? Negative times negative is positive. So at this point, now we're looking at adding this box, and this box. Okay, to end up getting the total of the x squareds. Well, the total of the x squareds, as I look up here, the total of the x squareds is 3x squared. So we have negative x squared and a negative 8x squared, so that's negative 9. And we're going up to 3. So it looks like we're adding 12x squared to make that happen. And so now we can repeat the process. What do you multiply times x squared to get 12x squared? That would be 12. And carry it down the column. You've got 24x and a minus 12. And so now we could, these three boxes have to add up to negative 4x. So currently we have 4 plus 24, that's 28, and we've got to go to negative, so we got to go from 28 down to negative 4. That's a minus 32x. Remember, now that we've hit the constant after the 12, this being my constant, everything else has to be remainder. So these boxes have to add up to 6. If I'm at negative 12 and I got to end up at 6, then I have to have an 18, a positive 18. So this part over here is my remainder. So let me write that out a little bit better than I have it right there. So we have x squared minus 4x plus 12 plus negative 32x plus 18 all over x squared plus 2x minus 1. So let's see if we can find another problem here that we can practice with. Just something that we might see in that homework section that might be a little challenging. Number 9 looks weird. 11's looks better because it's got a couple missing terms. Oh, and they're trying to trick me in number 11 with that 4 minus x on the bottom. Okay, so let's write that down here. 5x to the 4th. Let me see if I can split screen just so I can get the problem written down. It's not what I wanted. Erase that. Okay, let's get it to this size and drop a little bit of that. Let me at least get this problem written down here. So this is number 11. 5x to the 4th minus 3x plus 1. Okay, and they're trying to be all tricky with this 4 minus x. What I want to show you down here is this is really negative 1 times x minus 4. See, they were trying to be all evil and throw in that negative 1 and reverse that. Now, with a negative, what are you allowed to do, right? You're allowed to take this negative and throw it into the numerator. Remember, it doesn't matter if a negative is in the numerator, the denominator, or in front of the whole thing. So, how about negative 5x to the 4th plus 3x and a minus 1 all over x minus 4. See, now this looks a lot more like the problem that we would want to do. Okay, so let me get this to be a little bit larger, and we'll zoom in a little bit more, make this a little bit easier to read. So this is the problem we're going to be doing here. And since we could use synthetic division, right? Because we have a linear term. We'll probably do it with both just for kicks and giggles so that you can get more practice. So let's zoom out here just a little bit so I can get this problem written down here. 4, okay, and then we got -5. Remember, we have a missing cubic and squared term. Cubic and squared term. And then we have our linear term and our constant. Just don't want to forget those when they do have those missing terms in there. And carry down your -5, and we multiply and add. And we multiply. Whoa, whoa, wow. Seriously. Multiply and add. And we multiply. This looks really big for some strange reason. Why would they do this to me? -317 times 4. What do we got here? -1200? 4 times 17, isn't that like 68? So -1269. Alright, now this looks weird, so I'm going to verify this. Let me go back. Yeah, we got x minus 4. Okay, so we're going to use the remainder theorem to verify this. So we've got -5. The remainder theorem says, remember, that you can take the 0 from the denominator, that would be this thing, and we can plug it into the numerator. And whatever we get is the remainder. So plus 3x minus 1. Okay, plus 3x minus 1. Okay, so let's see. 4 to the 4th. Whoa, that's 256. So we have -5 times 256 plus 12 minus 1. That would be negative. Oh, I don't want to do it. I'll just type it. -5 times 256. I got -1280. Plus 12 minus 1 plus 12 minus 1. So, yeah, it does end up being -1269. Wow. Okay. At least we know we're right. So we ended up with a final answer of, now I don't care if you put the negative in front of the fraction over x minus 4, or you put as plus or minus 1269. Doesn't matter to me. It's the same thing. So then I got a -316 and a -80x and a -20x squared and a -5x to the 3rd. And that, my folks, or my friends, is the answer. Now, if we want to do that with long division, we would have let's see here. Whoa, stop moving. So we'd have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 columns, and of course 2 rows. So let's try that. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 rows. Whoa, man, who in the world is making these lines? At least it's better. X minus 4, and -5x to the 4th is the only thing that transfers into the box. So what do you get when you multiply that? To get that, what would you multiply it by? Of course, -5x cubed. And if we multiply that in the bottom, we get that. And now we remember that these two boxes have to add up to 0. We're at 20. And we have to go down to 0x cubed. That means we have -20x cubed. And we just keep repeating the process. What do we multiply to get that? Negative 20x squared. And multiply in the bottom there, we get 80x squared. These two boxes have to add up to the next one, which was 0x squared. So we're at 80, and we want to come down to 0, so that would be negative 80x squared. And just keep repeating the process. This times what gives me that, and that would have to be negative 80x. And now I can multiply down there and get 320x. These two boxes have to add up to, now we had something for our x's, right? We had positive 3x. Right here, positive 3x. So now we'll come down here, positive 3x. So we're at 320. And we're coming down to 3. So that's a negative 317x. What would you multiply to get there? It would be a minus 317. And multiply in the bottom there, and I get my negative 1268. These two boxes have to add up to, what do they have to add up to? Is it positive 1? Nope. It would be negative 1. Okay. So we're at negative 1268. We're going up to negative 1. Wait just a doggone second. That doesn't seem right. Let me go back and look at that again, because that doesn't seem right. You have to add up to negative 1. Did I do the original problem wrong? Well, I don't know how I would have done the original problem wrong and verified it with. So what am I doing wrong down here? Oh, that's why. Plus. Whew, caught my mistake. Thank heavens. So let's get rid of this, because that's not right. So I'm at 1268. I've got to come down to negative 1. Oh, that makes a whole lot more sense. Negative 1269. Whew, man, I thought, I am out to lunch on this problem. So that means that I have, either I can put plus negative 1269. This is what I was talking about earlier. I can either say plus negative, or I can just say minus 1269. It's all over what? X minus 4? And so that is my answer in long division format. Anyway, I thought I would try to do some practice problems for you, just to help you learn.